I'm nervous, but I like talking, so.
Do you want kids, Barnett?
Do I have kids?
Do you want kids?
Oh yeah, I do, but.
Wait, do you have kids? That's a question too.
Not that I know of. No, I'm kidding.
Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of our Love is Blind episode 1 review. We're going to talk to you guys about Amber and Barnett, Lauren and Cameron, Carlton and Diamond, and a little bit of Gianni and Damien. So make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Click on that bell button for the notifications of what the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what time it is, baby. Mineral gang. Mineral gang. Listen, don't play with my emotions, baby. Don't play with my what? Emotions. Alright, listen. You already know what time it is, baby. You ain't got the minerals, baby. Alright, cool. So, yeah, just watching this. I mean, I watched Amber and Barnett. Barnett is he's a great energy guy. He's a great flirt. He knows how to get the girls into certain positions, you know, emotionally. He was just dropping bars left, right, and center every girl, and they were feeling it. Confident.
Are you clumsy?
Generally, no. Lately, yes.
What about in bed?
Well, I ain't timid, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we love a bit of confidence. I want to say this as well, that no matter whether you are behind a screen or not, the fact that you're good looking, yeah, has a huge effect on your confidence. Here's why. Because in totality, you know, after this particular experiment is done, you go into the real world and they see your good looks. So your confidence doesn't turn down now because you're behind the screen. Because you know when you get to the real world, your face is still going to be speaking. Do you understand? So now you will see that even when it comes to the experiment, some of the girls who are maybe not as pretty are still not got enough confidence. Because even though the screen is up, they are still behind the screen. And they know eventually they will have to be seen. So that still plays a part in the mind. Do you understand? They don't stay in the dark forever. They come out. And they're going to have to, again, then think to themselves, am I going to be the kind of person that he wants? Do you feel me? So, yeah, that's a mad thing. And just that kind of little disclaimer thing, you know, I've been in situations where you're talking to a gal, it's got, you know, you haven't even really spent time with each other physically, but you've been talking on hours on the end of the phone. Someone catches feelings, it's long for everybody. Yeah, it's modern day dating. Yeah, with social media going on all the way we do, you know, and then you talk to someone thinking that you know them and then falling in love with them, and then boom, out of nowhere, nonsense happens, right? So when I'm talking about Amber and Barnett, I think it's really interesting. Amber is this really energetic, powerful, confident woman who just wants to go get, right? And she's got a lot of bags of confidence and energy. And because of that, it's very hard for men to, I guess, want to be someone like Amber. They're fearful of that confidence. You understand? That confidence rages past their own confidence, and sometimes it may be intimidating for a lot of men to date her. But I love the confidence. I love it.
Told me that they were pleasantly surprised when they found out that I can hold an intellectual conversation. They get really shocked when they find out there's more.
Yeah, bring it some more, Amber. You understand? Now, when Amber's bringing her confidence and she's matching Barnett's energy, right? And I know that Barnett is not going to end up, I know Barnett potentially won't end up going with Amber unless it's on a sex vibe. Reason being is because she matches his energy. And when I'm saying about matches, I'm not talking about complimenting. See, some women, often, more often than not, the woman that you date is going to complement your energy, not match. When they match the energy, oftentimes for a lot of men who feel they are alpha males, they can't cope. Because it's like, there's two of us now doing the same thing. Nah. I need you to tone it down a little bit. Compliment me. Don't match me. Do you understand? Pride and ego. So with Amber and Barnett, what I saw with them is that they had a great connection. Great connection. They really connected on an emotional level. Really spoke some truths of their own, and got to grips with life and their own lives together. And you know, he made her one of the top 3. It was between her, Elsie, and Jess. And you know, I just felt like obviously, you know, she talked quite a lot. And one thing that happened was, I think when I've watched her, she does talk quite a bit, and she's able to, I guess, self-reflect, because she talks about things in a more psychological aspect, where she'll talk about, you know, even some of the things about, you know, the male energy, the male ego, whatever she mentioned about.
A lot of girls will develop daddy issues in the form of, oh, I need a man's attention. Instead of turning into that, I became my own masculine influence in my life.
Something like that. And I thought, okay, cool. So the girl's self-reflected as well. She's deep. She understands herself. She's trying to understand more, etc., etc. So she's someone that's that's of a level. And also as well, Amber was the only one that I think I heard kind of really engage in a sexual combo. So I know they had a little bit of a banter about sex, and then they kind of had one or two other little tidbits as well about sex. And they were the only one, whereas he made a joke to Jess, made a joke to LC, made a joke to Diamond, made a joke to pretty much every girl, and the conversation moved on. But she stayed there because she's comfortable with it. She that's not a problem. She's comfortable with that particular aspect. But again, how does he view that? You know what I mean? That's the whole point. Like, how does he view that? It'd be backwards. You're thinking that if she's comfortable talking about sex and he's comfortable talking about sex, he should like her more. And actually, nah. Sometimes the idea of freaking the sheets and a lady on the streets kind of plays in our male minds. It's not correct, but that's sometimes what plays in our male minds. So her being open and expressive about sex may not necessarily be a turn on for him. Just talking about Carlton and Diamond as well. I think it's very interesting with Carlton and Diamond because we got a really good in-depth kind of insight into the both of them in sense of the fact that, you know what, he is looking for love, he wants acceptance, he wants people to take him for who he is, not just a preacher's kid. And we've got Diamond, who is a dancer, who's often always, I guess, fantasized about by men and asks stupid questions about because she's a dancer, etc., etc.
So which strip club do you work at? I'm kidding.
You know what? I knew you was gonna say that. You trying to lose points. Look, 5 minus 5. Hey.
Her name is Diamond as well, and it's just like everything's playing into a stereotype, and it's almost like, you know, I can understand that there's a pressure on her sometimes, maybe I guess, that, you know, men, like she said, obviously men just want one thing or they see one thing, and do you know what I mean? And that can become very depressing.
But only want to talk to me because what I do in life. And I want to be with someone who is going to really get to know me for who I am.
You know, I think with them two, it's been very, very interesting watching them develop. One thing I kind of picked up from him was that he said something, he said that he expects to be pleased and he wants to please her.
When it comes to marriage, a great sex life is important. I expect to be pleased as a man, and I expect to please her.
But the way he said it, it sounded so selfish, and I think that's one of the things I've picked up from Carlton that I'm scared about, the selfishness. There's an underlying tone, an undercurrent that I'm perceiving, that there's a level of selfishness in his behavior. It is a lot of I. Even though he said obviously he wants to please her too, it is the way he said it that made me feel like, this guy is selfish. He's only acting for himself, and that for me was a little bit scary. He mentioned about the fact he thinks he's good looking. He ran out. What I didn't like is that he ran out of the Amber talk, and I know she was talking a lot, but show some courtesy, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You could have said, listen, you know, once you finish talking, you know, boom, boom, boom. Like, look, you were talking a little bit low there. I just wanted to be able to express myself, da da da. And he actually said something, but he actually just ran out, which is even more ruder, and doesn't give you a good reputation, you know, based on that. Like, and that, you know, sometimes people don't realize they're talking loads. Sometimes people just don't know they're talking loads. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them a chance by communicating with them as well.
So I want to know, like, what are some things that stand out about me to you?
And then he asked Diamond, what are the things that you like about me or whatever? And so that completed like a trio or quadruple of what I didn't like. Like, all the things that he was mentioning just was kind of like about him. And I'm like, brother, this is about us. But there's a lot of I and we, and not of we going on. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, that's what I saw. I was like, I don't like that. I think it's a bit selfish. Plus, not only that you're fluid, and you don't tell your missus that you're fluid, and you're often deliberate whether you should tell her you had an experience with a guy. I mean, you think you should. I think it's something that you should be sharing before you get into a stage of getting to a marriage part. But then it's about him, because it's about, I want to feel loved, I want to feel, you know, taken care of, etc., etc. And it's all about him.
I have a big secret. At one point in my young adult life, I found myself attracted to just hearts, period. Like, it didn't have a gender. It wasn't about sex for me.
I'm interested when it comes to this aspect between their fears and stuff, because his fear was obviously the fact that someone would accept him for being who he is. But I don't think he's accepted himself, because if you couldn't be honest about what you've done in the past, you've not owned it. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, there's still room for you to feel shame. And so when you feel shame, you tend to hide away, because when Adam and Eve realized that they were naked, what did they do? Out of shame, they hid.
Super in love with and want to marry, and then at the last minute, she will not be able to walk down the aisle because she just can't be married to someone like me.
So what happens to people who then out shame? They hide instead of actually dealing with it face to face. Do you get me?
Yeah, this has definitely changed my life. 5 days in, and I know who I want to be my future husband. I can't believe.
And then on to Lauren and Cameron. I think they made a great connection, a great start, and they're obviously the stars of the show. It's intergenerational relationship, which we'll deal with in another episode. I found it quite interesting, obviously, because they were very quickly on it. I mean, you know, these guys cried, they shed tears, they were feeling emotional, they really connected on a certain level, and they're obviously very, you know, in touch with their emotions and stuff like that. So that conversation they were having where they felt that certain way wasn't actually anything bad, and I'm really excited about seeing that fact that the show shows men who are emotional and open, available emotionally, and who are, you know, crying and feeling a certain way because, you know, there's just no other way to turn. And so when you see them both crying and kind of seeing them feel a certain way, you're like, oh, do you know what? Fam, there's a real thing out here right now, you know. Like, this is a real conversation between the two, and this is a real stuff, you know. And the fact that he married her, so he was the first one to get married, or first one to be engaged to somebody, or the woman known anyway, kind of shows how serious he is about that. And, you know, the fact that he's not here to play.
Will you marry me?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, Cameron.
Games. And now she was you know, and they had some great conversations going forward, so no one can really complain. We're all gonna go with it. My only thing is that, you know, Lauren pretended as if that she didn't know he's white. I'm sorry, you know he's white. You know, you ain't got no other choice but to know he's white, because the way he talks, he does not talk like a black man. So unless you've never been around a black man, then I don't know how you don't know that my brother right there is definitely not black. Do you know what I'm saying?
Focused on what the person looked like. I wasn't focused on their race, if they're white or black. I wasn't focused on...
But you know what? It's interesting. And I think we'll save that for the next review as well. But it's interesting, obviously, she was talking about the kiss and talking about the fact that, you know, his lips wasn't sure if it was going to match with her. I was like, okay, we hear you, B. But yeah, it was interesting episode, this particular episode. I think Love is Blind, I think is a great show to start watching. I remember it's like Dating in the Dark, but with a bit more extension at the end of it. So guys, hey, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click down below. Let us know your thoughts. What's your favourite couple? Who, you know, makes you entertained on that show? Let us know your thoughts, and we're going to comment and comment back, and also do some more reviews coming in the next few weeks and days. So hey, guys, make sure you stay locked in. You already know what time it is. Little Black Book, baby. Are you muddy, lean? Gay.